Friday Night Racing
on Off the Ball.
Brought to you by Horse Racing Ireland. Love every racing moment. Visit hri.ie.
And you're very welcome along to Friday Night Racing on Off the Ball, brought to you by Horse Racing Ireland. Love every racing moment. Visit hri.ie or follow the Twitter account at HRI Racing, and the hashtag is every racing moment. Johnny, good of you to be with us.
What's going on?
You made a late run out the outside to be just pipped at the post for being on time today, but you're nearly. There's prize money anyway.
I was actually doing an interview with Suzanne Eade, who's obviously the HRI CEO.
That's a good excuse. As excuses go for being late for the show.
So it was a little bit delayed.
When will we see this?
Lovely. Hopefully Tuesday in the Currency. She's very low profile. Took over from Brian Kavanagh, who had 3 terms, and it was an interesting lunch. Hopefully the piece is somewhat illuminating.
Oh, we'll be the judge of that. But
yeah. You I don't like journalists who say what followed was a very interesting conversation, where such as, well, like you're telling me it's interesting, maybe it isn't.
Yeah, you know? And all the good bits are always off the record. So hopefully the good stuff is on the record and you can read it next week. Right, our guest this week, I'm delighted to say, is Jordan Gainford. Jordan, good morning to you. Good afternoon to you, rather. Sorry, it's been a long day.
It's 3 o'clock, Ger. It's not even close.
How are you getting on?
Good. Not a bother.
So we've been obsessed with Cheltenham really since the end of the Dublin Racing Festival. For you, is it something that's always there in every waking moment of every day, or are you like just trying to live in the moment and forget about it?
No, look at what happened last year was unbelievable, but looking forward to this year, and really looking forward to good racing. And it's massive with crowds back. It's extra special, and it's brilliant.
Are you talking about it every day to your mates and in the yards that you're in and you're riding out? Is it all talk non-stop about Cheltenham, or is it again just like don't count your chickens, everything has to wait, not going to get into it just yet? How's that going?
No, look, everyone's excited. It's a big part of the year. It's where everyone looks forward to going. But no, it's massive. Look, horses are in great form here. Everyone's excited, and I'm sure they'll start kicking off maybe Saturday before to head over. So no, it's exciting times.
Have you ridden at Cheltenham with a crowd?
I have once, yeah. Twice actually. I rode a horse in an amateur chase one time for Katie Price, and I rode last September as well. I was lucky enough, definite plan, got across the line in front. So twice, yeah, not at the festival, but
that's what I meant. Sorry, Jordan. Yeah, so you haven't ridden at the festival in front of a crowd yet?
No, I haven't. No.
So that is something to look forward to.
Yeah, massive. To be honest with you, I think I rode once with a big crowd, and that was at the start of my career as an amateur in Down Royal on Stephen's Day. So yeah, it was massive to have the crowd back this year, and. No, it was massive, and something to really look forward to now this year.
It does make a difference, doesn't it? I know, like, racing was amazingly well able to survive. Because I think, like, if you watch football long enough with no crowds, it got very, very tedious. Whereas racing was okay, but like it does make a massive difference, I guess.
It does. Even when you're bringing horses away schooling, like it's like a schooling day, really, on his colours, and didn't even have owners there, but. No, it's to have a crowd back. Like sometimes you'd hear the crowd, and obviously more times at big meetings you would hear the crowd. So no, on a big day it is. It's massive.
What do you hear?
You hear the roar, I suppose, in the last furlong. After the last, if you have a bit of a chance, you hear the roar, and no, it's hard to explain really, but I mean, you hear nothing, only the horses blowing and. Horses coming to you and birds cracking when there's no crowd there. So when you are there, you wouldn't hear much of that.
So the shunter last year, would that have been any different for you, because he was so well backed? You'd imagine half of the crowd nearly would have backed him or let on they backed him, so they're going to roar him, jumping the last as you're steadying him into it, and he's about to win the race. Like, would it have made any difference to you in terms of your nerves or anything like that?
I suppose, as I said, I hadn't ridden in a big crowd, only in Stephen's Day. I think it was 18. So look, he would have, to be honest with you. I remember going out into the prayer ring that day, and you wouldn't hear a pin drop. You know what I mean? And look, there was no one there. It was just trainers, and you walked out, got your instructions, and it's like me talking to you. It was as clear as that, you know. He was a hot sort of a horse, and I suppose no crowd there. It helped him as well. But No, if it was to be this year, I suppose it would have been bigger. And at the time, I was only after turning conditioning, so I didn't really know much about success.
What did Emmett say to you going out?
Actually, very, very relaxed. So I remember walking the track with him that morning, and he just said, keep everything simple. He said, just try to get a good break and get him into a rhythm as best as you can.
Did you feel the nerves?
To be honest, I didn't. If I'm being honest, I didn't. I used to ring Davey Russell every morning. I got up after riding out, in Cheltenham in the morning. I used to go back up to the hotel and get shower and get changed, and I'd always ring him and ask him for advice on the day, what I was riding and what he thought. I mean, you couldn't ring anyone better, and he was my idol, always was and always will be. So no, between him and Emmett on the day and my agent Gary Cribben, they were all very good.
Davey was your idol, sorry.
He is, yeah, he was, and he still is. I think, to be honest, I think he's the best man that ever zipped a pair of boots on riding. So
why so?
I just think he's brilliant. He's never in the wrong place. He's relaxed. If you ring him about a race, he's able to tell you in 4 words about the horse, and just keeps everything simple and relaxed. I mean, he's been around the block. He's been pointing. He's been champion everywhere he can. He's won the biggest races he can. I think he's achieved everything in racing, and just to watch him on a horse, he never moves. I mean, down to a fence at whatever age he is now, he's never changed his style since he started riding, and I think he's an amazing man.
What age are you?
21.
So I think, do you appreciate that when Paul Carberry retired, I think there was an appreciation. We may never see the likes again, and some days you just randomly think of when you'd back to horse that Paul Carberry rode and how he was like, how can you tell the dancer from the dance? He was an artist. Then you've Ruby and, possibly the greatest national jockey of all time. But does Davey, in your view, belong to that bracket of horsemen that we'll never get the likes of them again type?
Absolutely. Even if he's on the ground, standing beside the horse or on a horse, he's just an out-and-out horseman. In my eyes, look, Ruby Walsh was special, Barry Garney was special, but I suppose I'm that bit closer to Davey, and talking to him on the phone, a couple of times a week or maybe once or twice, and I just think he is unbelievable. To say he got Tiger all around in 2 nationals and jumped the way he jumped for him, it's just unreal, and to get him to win as well it's amazing.
How did the relationship with Davey come about? When was it okay for you to ring him up and say, here, give me a bit of advice? How did that come about?
When I started riding for Gordon, I suppose looking back at form and things, and I'd say to Gordon, Davey rode this horse this way or that way, and Gordon would say, here, look, give him a quick ring. So I suppose that's what it started. I remember riding Chosen Mate on the first day in Cheltenham in the Grand Annual, and I thought nothing else. I mean, the first thing to do was to ring Davey Russell.
It's interesting because obviously, like, you guys are part of a team at Gordon Elliott's, but also you're individuals, and it's an individual sport when it comes down to it. You're all independent contractors. So his generosity in helping you and mentoring you is obviously something as well, that he doesn't have to do that. He could grunt at you and give you a few bit of details that he kind of feels forced into because Gordon has told him to. But obviously it's developed into something like that as well beyond that, and he must respect the questions and the line of questioning that you have for him.
Yes, exactly. Look, if David Russell didn't want to help me, he wouldn't have to, but he's that sort of a man. He has young children as well, and he's teaching them, and he's done a lot for me, and he's teaching me every day. And every time I ring him, I learn something different off him every day. And he's been very, very good to me.
The importance of a mentor, I think, in all sports careers is really important, particularly in yours, because we talk about this a lot, but you lose more often than you win. To go back to Cheltenham and that specific moment, as the race is progressing, you said you didn't feel the nerves in advance, which is obviously pretty amazing, but as the race goes on and you start to realise that things are going well, what's that experience like? Because it's very early in your career to be on board a favourite at Cheltenham that has a chance like that, and to pilot it properly. Yeah, look, it was unreal. I remember coming down to the 4th last, and I remember coming down actually away from the stands, and he was taking a good grip at me. It's sort of slightly downhill to the first down the back, and he was travelling, and Adrian Hesketh was in front of me, and we sort of steadied it up slightly, and I was going to land on the back of Adrian Hesketh, so I said I'd take him out for a bit of light, so I did. I remember at the top of the hill, I joined Adrian on his gurt, and he just took a look, and he said, here, look,
take your time. There's a long way to go. Down to the fourth last, I gave him a squeeze and he put down. Sort of winged into it at the third last, and he really came on it. I hit the front. I actually didn't want to be there as early as I did, and if you watch it closely, actually going down to the second last, I can still remember that he slightly jinked and checked himself, because it's a massive. It's open, and you have the two fences coming up the hill at you. But in fairness to him, when he jumped the second last and down to the last, I asked him a question, as I said, at the fourth last, and he didn't respond. So I thought the best thing to do would be sit, and in fairness to him, he did. He put in short and got away from it quick, and no, it was unbelievable. I remember there was a small bunch of an Irish bubble on my left hand side as I went through the finish line, and it's like there was a massive echo, because of course there was no one there, and it's just that 20 or 30 people who were there, and it's unbelievable. It's something I never experienced before, and might never again. So it was.
Yeah, I mean, you, fingers crossed there'll never be another COVID Cheltenham where there is an Irish bubble and that echo is the sound you hear, as opposed to the absolute massive roar that would have rolled down off the stands. That experience and winning, were you ready to deal with it? Like, 'cause it is a lot again. It seems like your career has catapulted forward again since then, so you clearly were ready to deal with it. But had you thought about what it would be like to be successful on a big stage like that beforehand?
Never know, to be honest. It's something you dream of. I mean, I didn't know I had this right until declaration time 2 days before, and to be honest with you, I didn't look at the race too much. As Davey always told me, keep it simple. I was in Colin Bowes, and Barry O'Neill was a massive help to me, and I used to be in the air with him as an amateur, and he'd flick through the race before he went out and picked the fancied ones and things like that, and keep everything simple. So no, it's something I never looked too big on, and it was great.
All right. What is your racing background actually?
Started off in Shea Sevens. A good friend of mine, Pierce Rogan, he was novice champion last year by the point, and I couldn't understand where he was every evening. I'd be at home kicking a football against the wall, and I didn't want to kick it to, so he was always gone on ponies, and one evening he rang me, he said come on and try, so that's what I did. And JJ Slevin and his father Shea and mother Liz were up the road from me, so I went up there where he was and started riding ponies. That led to a Saturday and Sunday job. I was there for 5 years on weekends and summer holidays, and from there then I went to Colin Bowes. Went to Colin Bowes and I got my amateur licence. I was there for 5 years. Rode for Colin loads, and grew a great partnership with Warren Ewan in the north. You know, look, between them both, they've handled some great horses. I mean, you're with Barry O'Neill and Rob James every day, and Collins and all the other lads in the yard. Brendan Walsh, head man, they were all very, very good to me. Look, Barry is champion, and Rob himself will be fighting out this year, so that'll be interesting. So no, I was there for 4 years, and with COVID stopping pint of pint, and at the time my weight was good. I was after spending a week here with Gordon one summer, and I gave him a buzz, and he said definitely come on ahead and join us. So that's what I did, and it's been great. I have Craig Cribben as my agent, and he's done a powerful job. And it ends up with a winner at Cheltenham last year. Just a reminder, of course, My Racing Moment is brought to you by Horse Racing Ireland. Share every racing moment. Visit hri.ie or follow Horse Racing Ireland on social media. Just to go back to that bit where you're point-to-pointing, like at that stage, does it feel like this is going to be your career, that's what you want to do? Are you still thinking you might not do this, or was there an immediate kind of, okay, I'm doing this because I want to do this for the rest of my life? No, to be honest with you, I remember when I started off in Shades, I used to get ponies off him, and I used to ride him up and down to work, so that's how close he was to me. And I used to see how hard I could go home in the evening and how quick I could go up in the morning. So all I wanted was to race, and at that time to be a jockey. So no, look, it was brilliant to have that experience, and no, it's something I always wanted to do. I've said this before, and I think you're a living example of it. Like, if you put 100 kids on a horse or a pony for the first time who've never experienced before, how many of them would say, yeah, I love this, I want to do this? Sure, I suppose, I don't really know, to be honest, can't answer. But what was your experience? My experience was the minute I got on one, I just wanted to find out how hard it went, and from there it just jump speeds, and no, I just loved it from the very first one I sat on.
What age were you?
I was 14.
So you we had Liz Lawler on last Friday, and she was saying, I'm not sure about my daughter. I'm not sure she's shown really a real aptitude for riding. And we were saying, what age is she? She's 3. I was like, well, geez, that's a bit mad. So you were 14. You were a relatively late vocation.
Yeah, I think I was actually 12. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, 12.
Was it adrenaline? Like, is it an adrenaline rush or an adrenaline, like a quest for a buzz that made you think, yeah, I like this?
Yeah, it was. Look, sure, when you're riding them ponies, all you want to do is jump, and go fast, and that's what I did anyway. So, no, it's something. If you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. And I just loved it. If you get a fall, all I want to do is get back up and go again, and go harder and jump more. So, no, I just loved it.
The decision to turn professional, you kind of have framed it there earlier as the timing and COVID and no amateurs anymore. Was it obvious anyway? Was that your path? If there had been no COVID, would you have turned pro anyway?
Not as quick, no. I think I was up here for summer before I turned, and I was to go for another couple of weeks the following summer. But I remember I went around and I spoke to Colin and I said, look, is it a good time or what is the story? And Barry as well and Rob. And they said turn, and I actually think I waited a month or two, and I still thought about it. Collins would have been 10 minutes up the road for me, and I would have done plenty at home, like my father in the evenings at farming at home. So no, we thought about it for a month or two, and eventually I went ahead and did it. My weight was good. I was 9.5 stone, so I gave Gordon a text, and he said belt on.
It was a very good decision, it turns out. You've written out your claim. I don't know that much about this, and again, we've kind of constant process of education here, but it seems from the people we've spoken to over the years, you've written out your claim pretty quickly.
Yeah, I suppose I have. I wouldn't have done it again without my boss Gordon. Some great owners here. My agent Gary Cribben has been second to none, very good to me. So yeah, it was quick. I broke my wrist in Naas in the fall in November, and that sort of upset the thing a little bit. But we got back and we got rolling again, and yeah, it went. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing going too quick, but it's gone now, and we just have to face into things. I suppose it's like going straight into the Premier League. You know, you're with the top lads, and you just keep your head down, and we'll work as hard as we can. You're
still getting winners though, and you're still being asked by owners that they want you in. One of the biggest, most important trainers in the country is still putting you on some of his best horses. So they obviously have a lot of faith in you. Does that give you confidence as well? Yeah, look, yeah, it does. But around good lads as well. Every day you're learning. And every day with horses you're definitely learning, and look at I'm lucky enough to be beside all them lads right now here every day with Jack Kennedy and Dennis O'Regan, Jamie Codd, Brian Cooper, you name them, they're here a couple of days a week, and to have them lads by your side every day now is brilliant.
It's some team, isn't it?
It is. It's a massive team. From Gordon, head lads, ground staff. There's 40 odd people here on a lot every day, and more on weekends, and jockeys in schooling, and Wednesdays a busy morning. So no, it's all go, and it's great.
What's Gordon been like? Because I got the impression, like, subsequent to the suspension, that he just came back hungrier than ever. And we talk about the Irish trainers and the strength that they have, but like I would imagine Gordon is only going to get stronger. Has that been evidenced at home as well?
It has. Oh look, he's been unbelievable. He's as solid as a rock. Horses are flying, and throughout his time away, the place ran smooth, and he came back with a bang, and horses are in good form. He never lost it. He's the hunger. What he's achieved for his age, and the amount of time he's been trained is unreal. 3 Grand Nationals, Gold Cups, you name it, he's won, and it's like all them top jockeys, they just want more and more, and he's great at his job, and it's very lucky to be a part of it.
And it is like, Killintra is like a 5-star hotel for horses as well, despite what people might think, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. What facilities is here? swimming pools, everything. Everything is top quality, top class. Massive, great staff here, and they're all out to help each other and help every horse in any way they can. And no, it's great.
If you could ride any horse that's in the yard at Cheltenham, and we won't tell anybody, but if you had your pick of them.
I mean, if you won't tell anyone, this is not live on national radio.
That was the.
You could ask him for a tip for the weekend, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that actually is a good question.
Well, there you go. You've explained the bit there. I love it when someone explains your joke. Good man, Johnny.
That's the joke.
Exactly. So, Jordan,
that is a good question.
If you could pick any horse that you might not get an opportunity to ride just yet in your career, who would it be?
Sure, look, you'd have to pick the top race. It's the Gold Cup. I'd love to be on Galvin. That would be unbelievable to ride in the Gold Cup. Cheltenham, crowds back, something I never witnessed. And horses are in great form here, and he's in great form. On his farm, on the day, big crowd, best race of the festival. I'd have to go with Galvin. And yeah.
Sorry, but this also entails that, like, you have to do your, whatever you call it, your twice weekly ring to Russell and say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm riding Galvin in the Gold Cup.
It won't happen, but if I have to take one back.
Maybe he'd understand it.
That conversation goes, so you've been jocked off, and
yeah, and yes, I have accepted him. What do you like? It's a very open Gold Cup, Jordan. But what do you make his chance? A lot of people fancy him.
Yeah, I think he's a solid horse. His performance in Leopardstown is puts him right up there to be very competitive in it. He's in great form. It's a while now since he had a run, and he's doing everything well at home, and top man is back. And on the days he performs, so look, he's there with a big chance in there.
If you're a fan of Russell, you got to be a fan of that ride at Leopardstown.
Yeah, it was marvellous. There's people that are just great at it, and look, he's probably not a massive horse. I don't mean he's small, but he's not massive. He ran a great race with Jamie in Down Royal, and he came out there and did what he did in Leopardstown was brilliant.
And like, obviously we're a country the same in Britain, and we love our pets and all that, like, and people maybe don't understand the relationship that the likes you have with horses that you ride with. Who are your favourite horses from an intimate perspective in Gordon's?
I've had a great partnership with Tullywag. I won three on him during the summer. The last day I won on him was in Gorn in Nice Novice Hurdle. He's owned by Bective Stud, and they actually sponsored me as well, so that was great. And they're massive supporters of the yard here, and he's a very straightforward going horse. So yeah, he's probably the pick of him.
And actually, Bective Stud, so Noel and Valerie Moran, like, speaking of ambitions and all that, I get the impression from the odd time I've spoken to Noel that he's in this for the long haul as well.
Yeah, I honestly don't know, but look, they've invested in a lot of horses. They've some lovely stock, a lot of young stock, so coming along, and that's what you have to have. And they're really interested in it, and it's great to be sponsored by them. It's
kind of cool because Noel makes his money, but he puts it into like Bective GA. He loves Meath football. I think he might be involved with the Meath's ladies GA team in sponsorship, and he supports effectively his local yard, which is Gordon Elliott, which I think, I don't know, it's nice to have that local connection. And I think it'll definitely help Gordon's rise as well, that this guy, like Jigginstown might be exiting the fray, but this guy is
somebody
not.
Else coming up. Yeah, okay. Last couple of questions about Cheltenham. When do you find out, do you have an idea yet about what your opportunities might be? How long out are you associated with horses that will run in specific races?
I'm not sure what to run in the pot yet. I don't honestly know. What I do know is I'm flying over Sunday evening and there for the riding out Monday morning. But I honestly don't know yet what horses are going for what. They're doing their daily routine here and their normal week's work. So no, I honestly can't tell you what's going for what.
Do you get any influence over it? Like, will you put me on him? We've got a great relationship. That horse loves me. Nobody else can talk to the horse the way I can.
No, it's something I don't do, and I'm not going to do, but no, I don't, to be honest. We'll go over there and see what happens during the week, and look, if something pops up, it pops up, and it's brilliant, you know. It's the place everyone wants to be, and it'd be great.
Of course. And what have you got in the meantime between now and then?
4 rides tomorrow, and we're in Wexford on Sunday, so couple of nice horses running, and we'll be hopeful for a bit of luck.
What's your best chance for winner in the near future? We all like to help in these times of rising costs and inflation, and that we all like to help the punters along the way. Anton, any shunter to look forward to?
Look, I'm not probably great at tips, but ride a couple of nice horses tomorrow. I ride nice filly in the maiden. Nice horse in the maiden. I think actually Daphne Moon will run a nice race. So tomorrow in Navan, over 2.5. I think Navan will suit. She's really stare, and over the last 3 fences in Navan, it should benefit her.
In an ideal world, how many rides might you get at Cheltenham?
Sorry?
In an ideal world, how many rides would you be hoping to get over the 4 days in Cheltenham?
Oh, look, we'll be hoping to go over there and be there in one piece. But look, the Martin Pipe on the Fridays for conditions. Hopefully pick up one in that, and anything else would be a bonus. I honestly can't say now. And no, look, if we could get an extra one or two, it'd be brilliant.
So this is written in the stars. You're clearly going to ride the winner of the Martin Pipe for Noel and Valerie Moore, and that's going to be Hollow Games. This is it. It's all coming to me now.
I'm not sure again. As I said, I don't know what horse is actually going for what, so I don't know. But look, if we did run, I ended up riding them, it'd be special. It'd be definitely a big day. Again, they're sponsoring me. They're great supporters of the art. But again, there's loads of interest in it from the art here, and if I could get on one of them, it'd be great.
Yeah, like it's. I spoke to Noel about this yesterday, and this is the thing why Ireland wins so many handicaps. They've so many good Grade 1 horses that a lot of them just can't run in the Grade 1s. So the likes of Hollow Games, who was favoured for Grade 1 the last day, may go. Now, he didn't say he definitely would, but I guess if you can look up non-runner no bet, he's not going to go off the price he is now if Jordan is riding him. That'll be my student.
All right. Well, look, Jordan, we wish you all the very best in the meantime. Hope you have another brilliant Cheltenham, and really can't wait to see what the difference is next time you're on, where you can tell us the difference between the sound of the Irish bubble and the sound of a full, absolutely crazy stand roaring you home, because we're all looking forward to that. Congratulations on a great year so far, and thanks a million for joining us today.
Thanks, lads. Thanks for having me.
Jordan. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Right, that is our guest this week on Friday Night Racing. If you want to get in touch with us, by the way, you can text the show on Friday evening on 53106, or of course you can leave a comment on our YouTube stream. We broadcast live every Friday afternoon around about 3 o'clock. Friday Night Racing on Off the Ball is brought to you by Horse Racing Ireland. Love every racing moment. Visit hri.ie.
Friday Night Racing
on Off the Ball.
brought to you by Horse Racing Ireland. Love every racing moment. Visit hri.ie.
You're very welcome back this evening to Friday Night Racing. If you missed it, we've just been speaking with Jordan Gainford, who of course is in the Gordon Elliott yard, and they have many chances at the upcoming festival in Cheltenham. If you would like to get involved in the action, then you should forget about our early season Tote 10 to Follow. We all know that was the hors d'oeuvre. The main course is available to get involved in now. It's the Totes 10 to Follow Cheltenham mini game. Visit tote.ie to find out about entering your Tote 10 to Follow stable for the Cheltenham Festival, because it's kind of a run race. Johnny, we should crown the early champion. So now it will be Devon Lock-esque if he was to lose.
I'm a little bit worried about that you're overworked. You've gone from saying good morning to good evening in the space for like 10 minutes. So there's no in between for you at the moment.
You are first. Danny Mullins is second, and I am third in the Tote 10 to Follow leaderboard. 371, 311, 265 is the score. Not insurmountable, but largely insurmountable. So just take the win. Take the win.
Yeah, it's what's rare is wonderful and all that. But yeah, like a lot of these heavy hitters are going to be. I mean, I think they're going to be 6, 7, maybe even 8 odds on favourites here in Cheltenham, which isn't ideal. But yeah, a lot of the heavy hitters are out in force, including the likes of Honeysuckle.
Daphne Moon in Navan was the tip from Jordan a little bit earlier on. But talk to us about the other horse that you talked about there at the end, Hollow Games. Why? Yeah,
Daphne Moon is trying to place this horse now. Is running in
Navan tomorrow.
Is running in 2.5 miles. The 5:05 handicap chase, yeah, which is one of a couple of difficult. Yeah, that is an interesting race because the great all class returns after 2 scratchings for Rowan McNally could go off short price again. Hollow Games is definitely very interesting for the Martin Pipe. As I said, I spoke to Noel Moran, who owns a horse with his wife Valerie, and Hollow Games and Ginto were two horses that he spent a lot of money on. Hollow Games I think he cost the less of the two, came in at 255 sterling, bought by Aidan O'Ryan and Gordon Elliott 2 Cheltenhams ago, when our lives started to tumble the other way. It's great to be back. But anyway, this horse is run maiden hurdle, grade 3, two grade 1s, and he was 72 behind Ginto when he'd no excuses. Ginto's a very good horse at Nace, and then he was 9-4 in a very muddling race at Leopardstown. But he's gotten in off, I think he got in off 141-ish. He's gotten the British handicapper gives all Irish horses, almost all, a higher rating than they have in Ireland, which might sound like it's kind of prejudiced, but it's actually not. It's kind of logical if you work it out. But anyway, this horse hasn't gotten a particularly bad mark, and I think a strongly run handicap will bring his stamina into play. And if he goes to the Martin Pipes, obviously it's a race named after Gordon's boss, Martin Pipe, but it's also a race for conditionals, which Jordan would be one of the strongly kind of pursued guys in it. He's 12-1 at the moment. He's not going to go off anything like that if he runs in the race.
All right, so you think it's
also like the last race of the 4 days. So it's like if you've had a good festival, you're like, this could just cap it off. It's 5:30, weekend ahead. It used to be the county hurdle. It's now the Martin Pipe is the last race, and it's a great race to have the winner in. Put it that way.
I'm not sure where you're seeing the 12s. I'm seeing short of 7s and 10s most other places. So.
I think he's 12s with Bet365.
Okay.
Is that okay to say? Yeah, I'm not sure that's no bet though. So in fact, I don't think it is. But
so maybe that's
your money, take your chance.
Yeah.
See what happens. I think he'll run very well.
All right. Anything else this weekend that we should be looking forward to?
It's fairly quiet. Navan tomorrow is quite low key. Gavin Cromwell has a very interesting horse, I think, in the second race, in the shape of who's going to be a hot favourite, a horse that finished second to HMSC horse the last year. I think HMSC horse is going to run very well at Cheltenham. Gavin's horse is called Global Export, finished second the last twice. And keep an eye out for The Name Escapes Me, who hasn't run over fences since 2009. He's 12 years of age. His form figures are something like 0, U, P, 0, something like that. But maybe the stars will align to him tomorrow. He's running against veterans. And as somebody who got involved in a veteran chaser before, there's actually a very good programme for horses. You have to be aged, I think it's 11 or more, 10 or more, 11 or more. And there's these specific races. There's one in Wexford, St. Patrick's Day, usually. That's very good as well. There's one in Limerick at Christmas. And this is another one in Navan tomorrow, where basically the old stagers have a chance to race against their old age group. And The Name Escapes Me. Very interesting that he's gone back over fences for the first time since 2009, and his only win over fences was at Navan.
Right. That might have been a horse that you named.
As in, you're implying that I'm poor with names.
Well, it's something that I actually thought that, this is my horse. I named it because I say
the name escapes me. Yeah, I get where you come from. In fact, it was probably named, JP McManus is probably named it after something like that. I mean, the older you get, the harder it is to remember these things anyway, you know what I mean?
Friday Night Racing and Off the Ball is brought to you by Horse Racing Ireland. Love every racing moment. Visit hri.ie. The countdown is officially on. Next week's will be a full-blown Cheltenham preview show. Take care.